Are we still running or what? I think it's working now. It's working now, miss? I see one. I think it's working now. I think the title was too long. Hi, Irvin. Yeah, I think the title was too long. I tell you what, if people seen some of the stuff about going on with that train that derailed, they should be very upset right now. Hi, Casey. Hi, Irvin. I'm gonna drop this link. Maybe. This thing's messing with me tonight. Yeah. It should be dropped now. Hi, Tammy. My chat's running very slow. Especially the top chat. But no, where all that chemical spill, heck, it's spreading everywhere. It's like it's even in the air now. That's the way I understood. And it's like a mustard gas, so I'm not sure. Hi, Irvin.
Hello, Larry.
Boy, that train's really putting the chemicals out now. I got another video some guys talking about, and I tell you what, it don't look good.
I was just watching three of them. What I don't understand is if it's so bad there, why did they let the kids go back to school today?
Well, I don't know, especially when it's going through the water, and you think at all these people it uses the drinking water from the river, and it gets filtered. Plus, you're bathing in it.
Yeah, well, I was just watching one where they showed the somebody from the Ohio taking samples out of the river and stuff up around that area. Isn't that the river that comes by you?
Yeah, it runs right. I'm 6 miles from it.
From the river. How far are you from the train wreck? Are you over 100 miles away?
2 hours.
Oh, you're just out then. You figure 60 mile an hour. That's 120 miles.
Uh,
Wow, you better
but
get Jasper up in the air.
but no, they say it's going to affect Indiana. It's going to affect Tennessee. Uh, West Virginia. Half of West Virginia's even covered.
Well, they said West Virginia already stopped taking water out.
Hi,
Hit
T. Lee.
Hi, T. Lee. Hit the.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah. Oh, she up? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
How you doing, wonderful lady?
I'm not doing too good. My diverticulitis is acting up today, and I can't sleep. I'd much rather be in labor because actually the pain ebbs. Where this is just a constant flow.
Yes, rewind.
Well, it says this is a new one. Why didn't Congress let Ohio know?
I hope you're all ready to get mad at people from both sides.
There you go.
Now, the East Palestine train spill in Ohio was 10 days ago. If you haven't looked it up, I highly recommend you pause the video and go look at pictures on Twitter and news articles. But my summary of what happened was there was a spill of vinyl chloride. And to clean it up, they decided to try lighting it on fire. It basically made a giant pillar of flames and smoke. And since then, locals are talking about dead animals. They're seeing damage to their cars. This is supposed to be a poison. This is a poisonous substance. And it can poison not only the earth, but major waterways. And it appears to have been detected in the Ohio River, which means it's going to get into the Mississippi. It's going to be a huge environmental disaster. But what I want to talk about are the members of the House and the Senate in Ohio. And are they tweeting about this? But let's start with Jim Jordan, because Jim Jordan is one that a lot of people are focusing on. He's what got me to want to do this video. And the answer is no. Jim Jordan has not mentioned this. He hasn't mentioned it. You see, Jim Jordan was too busy talking about the Super Bowl footballs and, of course, his little committees he's running. J.D. Vance, I have to say, J.D. Vance did say something about it, but only after he went semi-viral for, talking about Mexican pizza instead of, the spill itself. Now, these two, of course, are Republicans. This is Republican Mike Carney. Republicans are ready to tackle the debt ceiling. Oh, wait. He hasn't tweeted about the spill either. Another Ohio representative. Oh, here's another Republican Ohio representative. He did tweet about it. So this is someone who tweeted about it, and there's one of the photos. It's bad. Okay, here's a Democrat, and they did tweet about it. So there we go. We've got a tweet from a Democrat. Don't worry, not all of them did it. We have this one here, a Republican. Oh, wait. Restoring regular order to Congress, letting committees work and legislators legislate. That means more accountability and better outcomes. Where's the accountability where you talk about Ohio? Troy Balderson, why are you tweeting about this spill, this massive environmental disaster? Here's a Democrat. We're grateful to the first responders who protected Ohioans last week after the tragic train derailment. They did say something today, and I might forget to mention this, but I do want to say that most of the people that did mention it did it today because the media attention is starting to say, why aren't you talking about it? Yeah, it makes me mad. These people should have been talking about it. This was a Democrat who talked about it today on Twitter. Now, maybe they did some news interviews that I didn't see, but I went to Twitter because you would think they would be tweeting out updates and wanting people to know about this, what's happening in their home state. And at least some of them don't think it's worth tweeting about. Mike Turner, tune in now on Fox News for my assessment for how the Biden administration is ill-prepared to protect U.S. air sovereignty. Not a surprise given their southern border policy.
But no, I think everybody should be concerned about this.
Here's the other video.
Well, what about the other two train wrecks? The one in South Carolina and the one in Texas. Both of those had chemicals on them too.
Hey, let me cut it.
I haven't heard.
Lily, let me cut in a minute. Larry, watch playing them videos because you might get your channel hit.
Oh, okay.
Let them put the links. Let them put the links in the chat and let the people go look at them. We don't want to get dinged.
Okay. But no. When you start looking at the map, now they're saying it's air or it's in the air. It's like a mustard gas. That could affect more than just West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Tennessee, Kentucky, a lot of those states, Indiana. It could affect even more than that, clear down into Mississippi.
Well, they got Alabama and Mississippi. Alabama and Louisiana. Just the top part and east side of Illinois. There's also a little area in New York. Now, my question is, the weather, the rain that we're supposed to be getting here in the next couple of days, is that going to push it all further up? You don't want to further up into New York?
Well, that's what I was wondering. How's it traveling up when the river runs down? the thing is, they're saying it's already air viral. So when the moisture gets sucked up out of the ground, it's mixed in with the water. It's going to go farther north, south, east, and west.
Well, they're already talking about it. It's already hit the Ohio River and going down into the Mississippi.
But that's where
they were talking about earlier today that it's already hit the Gulf down there.
Yeah, but it's been almost 10 days.
Yeah, and nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, well, there's nobody talking about it, so it's going to spread even farther.
Exactly. And those little balloons they've got trying to soak up that oil, big hairy whoop, the fish is already dead. I mean, what good is that going to do us? How's that going to do it whenever it rains? You know what I'm saying?
It'll make it worse when it rains because they're saying this turns into mustard gas. Mustard gas mixes with water, and mustard gas is a heavy gas, so it hugs the ground. That's why they used it in World War I, allegedly, in the trench warfare, because they'd shoot it out there. It would come down, hug along the ground, and when it came to the trenches, it would seep down into the trenches and back out. It's a very heavy gas. It's meant to kill.
Am I still here?
You're still there.
Okay,
yeah, you're here.
See me up there.
Yeah, you're at the bottom.
There, so.
Yeah, you're here.
Oh yeah, you said I'm not feeling good.
But no, Irvin's right. You know, after it gets into the water and then it mixes, it'll be like a mustard gas, and it stays close to the ground. And any animals or anything gets drinking around that water, it'll die.
You better keep an eye on your animals, Larry, because they're already reporting allegedly animals dying. The one I watched right before I came on was pinball preparedness, and he said a lady let her dog out and went out a couple minutes later to bring it back in, and it was already dead.
Ours drinks spring water.
Yeah, but it's not the water. It's not the water, it's the air.
I know. It's there.
Right. And in the grass, it's going to come down. It's going to be wet. It's going to get into the grass. That's what they were talking about on the shows that I just got done watching. It's going to be in everything.
But, how far is this going to travel? That's what I want to know.
As far as it can before it dissipates. Who knows how much who knows how long it takes to dissipate? I'm not an expert on it. All I know is from watching and studying World War I that's what they used in the trench warfare, and that's why they used it. Very deadly, very harmful.
I'm trying to get Teely back in here.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. It hits your respiratory. Welcome back. It hits your respiratory system. Is what it does.
Yeah, and we got stupid people wearing a mask, and you think that's going to be good for them? On top of that respiratory?
Well, the mask isn't going to do nothing. The face diapers and stuff like that's not going to do nothing. You need a regular gas mask.
Yeah,
or
are they going to start giving those out? No.
No, and they're a couple $100 to go buy them.
Yeah.
But they're saying from where just the train is, that from there down to where it is, it's already over 5 million people going to be infected. Heck, the time that they keep dragging their feet on it, it's going to be more than 5 million.
and they have
Yeah.
pictures of the train car throwing sparks out where they're already locked up. They don't understand why the sensor before didn't catch it, because they got sensors along the tracks that check everything. If the brakes are overheating, this is out of a line. It's all kinds of sensors along there. I watched a video on it 2 days ago, and they don't know why. In the video I just watched that Miz sent me, it showed the sparking, and the sensor before didn't catch it, but the sensor after did. There was another sensor that caught it right before it derailed, and that showed it was overheated. But you can plainly see the sparks on the video camera.
Yeah, I just was just amazed how far, when you look at the two different things that I posted in the community page, the two different where it spread in from state to state, and then you go and look where it got in the air and it's jumping around. It's like, well, heck, it could be all over the United
Why are they
States.
having, I don't understand why they're having school.
Well, that's what Irvin wanted to know. Why are they having school in that town? But I thought they got, didn't they get where they had to leave that town?
Yeah, but I think they let them back in, didn't they?
Well,
I
they
don't
must.
know, because they said they was going to burn it.
What, the town?
No, they was going to try to burn the gas, and when they burnt the gas from the train, I thought that's where they got it too hot and it turned it into the mustard gas.
No, it does. It didn't get it hot enough. They didn't. What they're suspecting is they didn't burn it hot enough. They said when it burns at a certain temperature is when it turns into the mustard gas, and it's got to be burned at a higher temperature to get rid of it altogether.
Yeah,
And
I know.
There was 3 different chemicals on that train that are highly, highly allegedly dangerous.
Well, my question is, why did they have 3 different chemicals on that train and not just one chemical? Because the way I thought, you were only supposed to carry one chemical at a time. That's my thought. I
Nope.
could be totally wrong.
No.
Nope.
Yep, I'm wrong.
This goes on, T. Lee, this goes on around the country every single day, all day and all night. The town I lived in Pennsylvania, we had railroad tracks that I could stand on the buildings along Front Street, and you could actually throw a rock and hit the trains. And you didn't have to throw very hard. And we had a lot of tanker cars run by that town. And I used to always think about that. What would happen if one of them trains would derail? You know, it'd go into the town. It would go into the town and hit the houses and the businesses along there. And then on the other side's the Susquehanna River. But yeah, their tanker cars roll through there all the time. That's every day, everywhere in the country. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I always wonder. No, honey, you're fine. I didn't mean to interrupt anyway, but I've always wondered that myself. You know, looking at those tankers going, I don't know what's in them. And here I am, the first one, you know, sitting by that railroad track. And it's like, what would you do if something happened at that moment? There's nowhere to go. You can't go forward. You can't go back. And, you know, it's just like these other 2 train wrecks. What was on them? Is there a leak on those? I haven't heard anything about either one of those.
Well, I heard about that truck driver that got hit, and they're saying the guy that was talking about it said that they're going to blame it on the truck driver.
Of course, because he's dead.
Well, no, because he didn't follow procedure. Truck drivers have to, when you're hauling chemicals, it's no different than a school bus. You must stop at railroad tracks. It doesn't matter if it has flags and gates or anything. You're supposed to stop. That's why they have that little pull-off lane there. You're supposed to come to a complete stop and look. And that's why I said that's buses and chemical haulers. Evidently, that guy didn't do it.
That's one of them. That was the one in Texas. But what happens about the one in South Carolina? I haven't heard anything about that one.
No, and I haven't neither. They're not covering them because they're too worried about that stuff that's up in the air.
Oh, the UFOs.
Whatever they are.
Whatever they are.
We'll just call them UFOs because we all know aliens
Well,
are coming down to eat us up.
I think they got after something today. Said they got something else today out of the sky. But 2 years ago, there's a chemical plant that's here along the river. It blew up and caught on fire and burned everything up, and the chemicals went in the air. That whole mountainside for probably 2 miles or a mile. Every tree on that whole hillside all died, and it took about 3 years for them to grow back. I don't know what the chemical was. It was in the air. It killed them all.
Well,
But
now
they
imagine
did.
what's going to happen around this train accident.
Yeah, really.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be like Roundup sprayed everywhere.
Yes.
Yay, no weeds.
No weeds, no food, no nothing.
Probably
I'm
no
sorry,
animals.
guys. The only thing I could think of was yay, no weeds. But
But
yeah,
they said that wasn't there one in Texas too?
one in Texas, and it also had chemicals on it. From what I understand, the one in South Carolina also had chemicals on it, but I haven't heard anything about that one. The only thing I've heard about the one in Texas is that the truck driver died.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. Casey, did you get out and get all your candy and flowers for all your girlfriends?
He's probably broke now.
Well, you can go down to the beach and hand them out to the ladies.
That'd be nice of him.
Yeah. Just don't wear your Speedo while you're doing it.
Oh, good gravy, no. Whenever I was 16, my sister was living in Charleston, South Carolina. She took me down to the beach. And there was a guy there who was a foreigner. I don't know what you call this thing he had on, but you could see things you shouldn't be seeing at 16, and his butt was hanging out. I'm going, Jan. And she said, oh, Donna, don't look.
Too late.
Too late.
Jan.
They're called banana hammocks.
Oh, is that what they call them?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, holy Moses.
Yeah, they say them things are really popular over in Europe. You guys think they're really good with their big old bellies hanging out.
Oh, he had one too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Lord.
That's supposed to be sexy.
Oh, well, maybe there it is. It ain't here.
So wonder they didn't ask him to leave the beach.
Well, I saw him that one time, and I saw him walking down the beach, but I didn't see him after that. So I don't know if he was taking a very long walk or they did actually ask him to leave. I don't know.
Yeah, because some of the beaches down in Florida, it all depends what some of the women wear, which isn't very much. They ask them to leave the beach. They have a little bit of a dress code.
Well, I wish they'd have dress codes on the side of the road too. Because seriously, whenever I was down in Florida, I swear it was 40 degrees down there in Florida. Now, I'm a Southern girl, you know. I don't mind being, you know, I don't mind people wearing whatever they want to wear. But 40 degrees, the wind is blowing, and this girl is standing there in a two-piece. You can't even really call it a two-piece. I mean, it just covered nipples and the front. That was it. The back side was open for all to see. I'm sitting there staring at her like, really? Because I'm in a sweatshirt and I'm freezing my butt off. And I'm thinking, the dude that was with her, now get this, the dude that was with her was in a pair of jeans and a jacket. He had a t-shirt on underneath of it, but he still had a jacket. And all I could think was, how has she not gotten pneumonia yet, you know? And I'm sitting there staring because I can't believe she's that naked at 40 degrees in Florida with the wind blowing.
Well, she was trying to make money, and he was pimping her. That was her pimp. That's what that was.
More than likely. Tony didn't say nothing. He was laughing at me, and I looked at him. I was, "What are you laughing at?" He said, "You." And I was like, "Well, excuse me for wondering how she hasn't died yet." Well, she's
Hi,
used
Freedom
to it.
Pop.
I said, "Yeah, she may be used to 70 and 80 degrees out here in that bikini, but she is definitely not used to 40 degrees out here in that bikini." I mean, really, guys?
Well, maybe she was a northern girl.
Even northerners wouldn't be out there in a bikini that small. They'd at least have shorts on and a t-shirt.
Couldn't tell you.
Hello, Freedom Pop. Casey,
Hey, Freedom Pop. Hey,
Casey, don't worry if it was one size or not. Get your mind out of the gutter.
No, it wasn't. It was a bikini, Casey. A two-piece, covered nipples and covered the triangle area. We'll just say it like that.
Huh.
Could she cut glass?
Dude, I have no idea what that means, and I don't want to know.
Okay, good.
Does it cut glass? Seriously?
Larry knows what it means.
Well, I'm glad he does, and I'm probably sure a lot of other ladies that listen to this also know what it means, but I'm ignorant. We're going to keep it that way. Just saying.
So what do you think's going to happen with this chemicals? Do you think we're going to find out in a few days? It's like every one of those, the train that derailed up the river there, they're saying each tank had a different chemical on it, you know.
Well, considering this happened about 10 days ago and it's not been on national news as of yet, I don't think we're going to hear anything. And if we do, they're going to try to cover it up because guess what? There's UFOs in the sky there, Larry. Those are more important than your life.
I ain't. Hold on.
The roosters. There's the roosters.
No, Freedom Pop, we're not. We're just having a glitch in the matrix.
Well, no, this is how they get you to go move into the 15-minute cities.
That ain't gonna happen.
Well, sure, if they
Well,
destroy all the land out away from the cities, and make it unbearable to live, you're going to have to go there.
Now, who was it? I want to say it was Jim Jordan was talking about the Chinese buying up all the land and putting a stop to that. Did you guys hear anything about that?
Yes, they were trying to buy. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, I heard, there last week, I guess that, what they called the green light, it went over Hawaii and it went down and shined those lights onto Hawaii. That was something to do with the Chinese buying that ground up over there. And it was, I don't know, I think they're trying to
Hey, missed out on the chat.
buy, I think they're trying to buy up the ground so they can be control of all the waterways. I think that's what they're trying to do.
Well, I think that's what what's his name is trying to do too. Okay, Ms. Blue Moon, there was another train before the Palestine incident. So does that make it 4 trains?
She put a link in there, right? So you can go watch it.
Freedom Pop, you will be next, okay, honey? I'm just letting you know now.
You see that link she dropped in there? Now that has every town and city around me. It's going to affect it. Miss Blue Moon shared that link with me earlier. I think that's the one that's in the chat. It has Wheeling, it has Morgantown, it has all these different towns around us. It's going to affect, they said. Why ain't the National Guard out? I figured they'll have to find somewhere to get water, won't they?
Yeah, they'll have to ship in water for everybody, but how are they going to ship in that much water for everybody so they can not only cook, clean, do their dishes, wash their bodies? They're not going to be able to do all that. They're not going to want to do all that. That means money coming out of their pocket, honey. They ain't going to do that. They're going to want to send all that money over to Ukraine. I'm just saying that's what they want to do. That's what they'll end up doing. This administration does not care about the people of this country. We know that.
Well, that's why I was, when Irvin was speaking there, I wish he would have kept on speaking about it. It's just like he said, they're trying to push this 15-minute cities. And I kind of think he's right. That's what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that ain't going to happen in America because people ain't going to do that.
Keely, if you go back and look at the movies from like in the late 80s, early 90s and stuff about the cities and stuff, if you look, they all had walls built around them, and on the other side of the walls was nothing but a wasteland. They were telling us back then that that's what they're planning on doing. If they go out and ruin all the land out away from the cities like they're doing out in the countries, what are you going to do? They make it so you can't grow stuff. They're killing all the animals. Now they're talking about this bird flu is somehow magically got into bears and cougars and all that stuff now. They're trying to make it so, yeah, and I'm sure you're not a hunter, but about 10 years ago or so, they came out with this chronic wasting disease for the deer, and they got other diseases out for these deer, trying to get you not to hunt them. They're training us not to do things.
That's how the cows got wooden.
Irvin, me, myself, and I don't think it'll get that far. Things are gonna happen before that happens. That's what I think.
All we can do is hope and pray, T. Lee.
Well, believe me, babe, I've been praying.
I know we all have. We all have. But that's what their plan is for us. In my opinion, that's their plan. And I know I've been talking to Larry about and teasing him about the pineapples and all that stuff, and about down in Florida, the villages. I've been watching the stuff on the villages, and it just dawned on me the other day when I was watching one of them. That's what they're setting up there. They're starting a 15-minute city because they have 4 town squares in amongst the villages now. And it's getting bigger and bigger. There's over 100,000 people living there. And they're drawing them in. That's in the middle of Florida, just south of Ocala, Florida on 441.
Oh.
I lived about 15 minutes away from it.
Well, that's where I saw the bikini girl in Ocala.
Yeah. You go out of Ocala on 441, and you go to Bellevue, and then you go about 10 minutes or so, and there'll be a big bridge going across that says the villages, and that's where they walk across back and forth the road and drive their golf carts.
Casey, the Mississippi is next. The Ohio goes down to southern Illinois and western Kentucky into the Mississippi.
Miz just dropped another link, guys, just to let you know.
Thank you, Ms. Blue Moon.
Yes, thank you, Ms. You're wonderful.
Yeah, I just wanted you guys to know she is dropping links where we found the stuff at where it's infected the water and stuff.
But you're not supposed to eat the fish out of the Mississippi anyway, because all the chemicals that they flushed out of the up in St. Louis, they would open up pipes right into the Mississippi. So you're not supposed to eat the fish in the Mississippi anyway. Now,
well, in the 90s,
my thing is, a lot of people go to the Mississippi to baptize. I don't want to see anybody hurt because of that, because they're getting baptized in Mississippi and here's this chemical spill. A lot of these people ain't hearing about this chemical spill going into Ohio. They think, oh, well, it's just in the Ohio, it won't bother us. What they don't understand, that Ohio dumps down into the Mississippi, and I'm sorry I'm preaching.
Yep.
You don't have to be sorry. You let her fly.
Well, I did, didn't I?
well, that's why I was saying, when I found that one map and different things, and that's what I was saying, it's in the air now, because now it's going north, east, west, south now. And
yeah,
it's
because of the airflow up high. I mean, like I said, it's in New York, southern tier of New York right now. That's not that far away from me.
Well, let me add something. Let me add something into the mix here. Now, all these things that they've been shooting down out of the sky, could that be universities putting up stuff, trying to monitor the airflow and stuff, and they don't know it, and they're keeping it hush hush, and the military shooting them down because they don't know?
Now, see, that I thought about that too. But whenever universities put anything up in the sky, they have to
including
let all the airports know in the vicinity, and whoever's in charge of all that stuff.
Thick black smoke that
Right.
could be seen for miles. This was the moment officials in East Palestine, Ohio, had been planning for: a controlled release of toxic chemicals from several.
Hey, Larry, watch putting that
Yeah.
stuff on there
Larry.
like that.
Oh,
You need to get
well,
that off,
it was on,
babe.
Yeah,
it was on TV. It's on the
that
local
don't
news
matter.
now.
That
Okay.
doesn't matter. You're fair use. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not sure how that works, but don't take a chance.
Yeah.
Just
it was
let
on the
everybody know
local
that.
news.
Just let everybody know that Fox News has it on.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to let everybody know it's on the local news and
Yeah.
Fox
Yeah.
News now.
Yeah.
'Cause
Finally,
I think it's going to be a bigger problem than everybody. It ain't going to just affect us. It's going to affect everybody.
well, I hope it
Of
don't
course
come
it's
the whole
gonna
way out
affect
here.
Everybody. Everybody
Everything's fine.
from mid America east is going to probably end up affecting everybody.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to affect generations on too.
EPA saying everything's fine and not toxic. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Those COVID shots are going to affect everybody too. I mean, oh, good gravy, people, please. I wish I could take a Tylenol right now and get over this, but I know that won't work. But anyway.
You sounded
So,
like me
let's
last
see.
night with my arm. I couldn't get my arm from stop hurting last night, no matter what I did.
What's wrong with your arm, Irvin?
Well, I've had a major gout attack for the past 3 weeks, going on the 4th week. I'm getting over it, but it's going in stages, and last night was one of the stages.
Now, tell me something. What is gout from?
Uric acid buildup in your body. Beer, seafood, shell foods, red meat, wild game, all kinds of
And
stuff.
not enough leafy greens.
No, it doesn't matter how many leafy greens you eat.
Oh, I thought leafy greens helped with that.
Well, because you got to watch what leafy greens you eat also.
Well, I figured leafy green stuff would be good.
Well, spinach is. I'm not supposed to eat a lot of spinach. I'm not supposed to eat a lot of kale. That's a big list.
Don't eat that stuff.
Well, basically, I'd have to starve myself if you follow what you're not supposed to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom came home and was talking about all the stuff she wasn't supposed to eat because of her diabetes. I said, Mom, they're talking about a large spoonful of mashed potatoes. You can't have that. But you can have mashed potatoes as long as you make it, just a couple, not the whole dang pan. And she said, I can have mashed potatoes? I said, yes, Mom, you can. You just can't eat the whole dang pan.
Yeah. Well, my gout, I figured out a long time ago, it's caused by the weather, the change in the weather. I get a major gout attacks in the spring and the fall. We're changing from winter, fall, the winter months into the summer months now. So that's why every year I've been tracking it for 30 years. My doctor said I was nuts until he went back and looked at my records, and because he never heard of it before, and I, just threw it out to him, and he went back and looked at my records at that time, and he agreed with me. So it's just something I deal with 2 times a year.
Miss Blue Moon is saying that train was carrying 1 million gallons of the V chloride. What's V chloride? I'm sorry, I'm not that brilliant here right now.
I I watched a program about that chemical, and they said in every town there's or drums of that setting around and it causes cancer. The way I understood, I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to believe the prophets when they say that Trump's coming back as president. I believe that things are going to change for the better for us. And all the stuff that's happening around the country right now is going to go away. How? I don't know. But that's what I'm going to be believing on. And that
Well, I
brings
believe
me
that we got a
to-
lot more darker days coming ahead before that happens. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. My opinion. That's what I'm preparing for. If it doesn't happen, great. I'm prepared, you know.
Yeah.
I don't have to buy food for a year.
Well, they already are trying to stop shipments of all kinds. I know that. Seeing that.
Well,
But-
there's places that are trying to make you register your little gardens at your house and stuff like that, so they can come in and keep track of it.
What are they going to try to keep track of? How much you eat?
How much you raise, so you can't trade it. They're trying to get away from the barter
Wow.
system.
Urban.
Yeah.
There's a water plan
Thank you,
here.
Miss Lemon.
There's a water plan that they're showing in Florida.
Hackers trying to poison water.
Hackers just tried to plant or poison the water supply in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're showing it now.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They've been
I
saying
wonder
that-
how long it's going to... Go ahead.
Go ahead, Teely.
I was just going to say, I wonder how long before they shut the grid down.
That they're working on that.
Well, I know they are. I just wonder when and how.
Yeah.
Because
Well, they've been
they're
worried,
supposed to
Larry. They've been worried
3
about the
days
water
ago.
supply for years. I've heard them talking about that. Go ahead.
Yeah,
that was way back in the 80s when they started worrying about the water supply.
No, I just thought it was, it's something different where, if they can't get it to like the rivers and streams, now they're going to
6 days.
now they're going to go to the like these
Drinking water.
wells that the people drilled, and they're going to put the chemicals in that by the looks of it, by the news they're saying. These Argentinian wells.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I think it was Stanley Steamer, they was emptying their trucks out on a hill in West Virginia, and it got into that town's drinking water.
The chemicals.
The chemicals did.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why that's why they don't want you to dump stuff down the drains along the streets anymore. I remember back in the day, people used to pull their cars over the drains and change their oil.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Barely, but I do. I remember whenever you used to pull your car up over a drain and wash your car off, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's like when we was a kid, we used to swim in the river, and my mom would be like, well, I know where you guys was at. You guys was at the river. Because after we got done taking a bath in the tub, there'd always be this big black ring around it.
Mm-hmm.
and today the river's a lot cleaner than what it used to be.
Well, that's true, except for the Mississippi.
But in the 90s, we got a big oil. One of these barges was hauling oil down the Ohio River, and the whole thing leaked out, and they put these big white things across the river to catch it all, and because the oil floats at the top. And
Yeah, but it didn't.
but the National Guard came in and with fire trucks and stuff, and they had to supply everybody with water for like 3-4 months. Now I can remember that it was a pain.
Well, I can remember whenever that spill hit because some of it even reached the Mississippi. Not a lot, but I'm saying some of it did reach the Mississippi.
Yeah. Well, I ain't seen Time and them tonight. I hope they're doing good.
Yeah.
Susie, I ain't seen her. Ain't seen Tiffany in there either tonight.
Susie,
Tina B. None of them. Hope they're doing okay.
Susie was on cams last night late.
Yeah. Well, she just commented on one of our videos. That's why I was wondering.
Raining now, Larry. I better get my buckets out and start collecting rain. So I can send it out. I can send the water out to you to feed to Jasper.
I wouldn't. It may have acid in it. Remember back in the 80s and 90s, they were talking about acid rain?
Get water.
Yeah. They still talk about it. That's all right. I got filters. I gotta go get my paint.
I think I'd just be ahead to go out to the other farm and get water out of the well or out of one of the springs.
Yeah, you can try that.
You know, if I need water. Here beside the house, I got 2 springs that if I needed water for animals. So that makes it nice. Just the only thing you got to carry a bucket at a time, though.
You better check it and make sure it doesn't have any chemicals in it.
Thank you. I was just going to say the same thing.
It comes right out of the hillside.
Where does it come from, Larry?
Out of the hillside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that plume is all over down there.
You're talking coming out of the hillside about 150 feet deep. So it'd be pretty clean.
Did you read what Ms. put up there for you, Larry?
What's that?
No well water, Larry.
Oh.
You know what a well is.
Yeah.
It's just an underground river. Who knows where it comes from?
Oh, I know where this one comes from. It comes out of the hillside.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you still better check it. I'm just saying.
You know how good I know this water is? The people that lived there lived to 101 years old, 102.
Yeah, but Larry, you just had a chemical spill that could kill everything within hundreds of miles. And it's spreading. You better check it before you drink it.
Yes, figure I'm about 3,000 or 4,000 feet higher than them.
Well, if you feed bad water to the animals, you're going to be in trouble. It's going to be more in the frying pan.
Well, that's where them pineapples that Jasper's producing on his horns will come in handy.
Yeah. You better go build yourself a Berkey water filter. That's what I'm doing. I got to go get the pots, and they'll have me. I already got the filters. I just gotta go
You
get
get
the 2 pots in the spout.
You got the charcoal?
Yep. 99% of everything.
Well, that's good.
Miz says it's killing the fish, chickens, and foxes are sick from it. And it's killing household pets also, Miz.
How do we know it's not killing the cows and the horses?
Well,
Has
that'll be
anybody
next.
said?
No, you got to keep an eye on them. They
And
said
then
whenever the
there's-
all this is going to settle down into the ground, it's going to get into the feed, the grass and stuff while they're out grazing, and it's going to get into the meats. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh, they're going to try to do anything to scare you to death.
Yeah,
Well, sure.
we got God.
Uh,
He'll protect us.
but no, I think it's kind of weird how they got it going from state to state.
I don't think it's weird, Larry. I mean, the air
Well,
currents and everything.
yeah, I think it's weird because the states it's affected. I know it's been almost 2 weeks, and moisture gets sucked up every night when we go to bed, and dew falls and sucks back up, and I can understand how it just picks up and drops again in another spot. How long is it going to take for it to spread everywhere?
Well, see, that's just it. That's what I'm wondering. How many more days is it going to take for that plume to hit Michigan, upper state New York, like where I'm at?
Mm-hmm.
How long is it going to take for it to hit Canada? Now, I understand we got a storm coming, but what does that mean? Is that going to spread, or is it going to, push it down further onto the ground? You know what I'm saying?
But is that the fungus they keep saying we got to worry about?
What fungus?
I don't know. You hear these people saying, "Oh, you got to watch out for the fungus that's coming." I heard different shows talk about a fungus.
Well, my sister was talking about a fungus tonight. She didn't know what it's called, but she said that they're going to try to lock us down over a fungus. But I mean, they tried to keep hunters from hunting back in the 90s when I can't remember what it's called. It was a fungus, but I can't remember what it was called, that got onto the hunters and stuff, and it would cause blisters and holes in the skin. Does anybody remember that?
No, and I hunted all through the 90s. I was a big hunter.
Well,
I
not a
don't
lot of
remember.
people. I know a neighbor of mine, not a neighbor. I wouldn't really call him a friend of mine. He got it. It wasn't in the 90s. It was 2005 or somewhere in there. 2005, 2010. What was that?
Yeah, I
Now
never
my
heard
brain.
of it. Because I hunted clear up until 2010.
Well, there was a fungus out there on. I don't know if it was carried around by the spores, in the wind, but it'd get on trees and leaves and stuff. And then whenever a hunter would go by it and it'd scratch him, he'd get something. He'd get this, sore on his arms or legs or whatever.
Well, the thing that they tried to scare you of this year was the deers and they got what they call wooden tongue. And what their throat and their tongue will all swell up and hang out of their mouth, and their mouth will be crooked. I've seen cows get it, but they can get rid of it. But it's a disease that affects the deers, cows, and different things. If you look it up, it's called wooden tongue. Deers with wooden tongue, and it's just like I don't know what you'd call it. It just makes them where they can't eat. They'll just starve to death practically.
But can you eat them?
I wouldn't want to eat one. If you look it up, wooden tongue on a deer, I wouldn't want to eat it. I'd be afraid of getting it in my body.
Oh, okay. That's why I was asking.
Now, did you guys hear about the other egg hatchery over in Europe somewhere that burned?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bless you, Edna.
Oh, thank you.
Edna, when you sneeze, you're supposed to hit Larry in the back of the head.
I would if I was over there. I'll say
That's why I got the paddle over here, Miss. And TV. I got the paddle over here that she cracks me with.
Well, that don't look like an iron skillet.
No, that's her mom's paddle. She shakes that thing at me and says, "You better get moving."
I can't lift an iron skillet.
The iron skillet she can't lift.
Start practicing.
But
I'll put my size 3 up his butt.
but no, it's like you said, they can do that where they'd want nobody to hunt animals anymore.
Well, that's what they're trying to do. They say about the bird flus and the ducks and the geese and all that stuff, trying to keep people from hunting them.
Well, and then you got the pig flu.
Yeah, the swine flu.
They had to butcher or kill all those pigs off because they said they was infected.
Yeah.
What?
And then they went.
What was infected?
The pigs. They did that 2 years here during the fair. They wouldn't even let us bring a pig there because of that bird flu and stuff.
Swine flu. Boy, Larry, it's really raining here now.
Well, catch me some water.
Yeah, and I'll ship it out to Jasper.
Edna said, "We'll have to catch the water here." I was like,
On
"Well,
Thursday.
that probably won't be very good water. We'll have to filter it after we catch it."
But yeah, you'll have to filter it. Let's go get Jasper up off the ground.
Well, watch your dogs, Larry. Make sure they're staying inside as much as possible.
Oh, our dogs don't leave our yard. They're fenced in. They
No, it's
go
not
out.
that.
No,
It's the air.
No, honey, I'm saying make sure they stay in the house, not
Oh.
outside.
Yeah, our dogs don't stay outside. We don't have any outside dogs. You think Edna's going to put our dogs outside? I don't.
Just keep when you put them out to go potty, just keep an eye on them to make sure they're breathing okay and stuff.
Yeah.
Don't just let them out and then go out and find them laying.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Edna said, "Don't tell her that. She'll be
No, that's
madder
what
than
I'm
a fire-
saying.
She'll be
No,
madder
it's
than a firecracker."
No, she's got to keep an eye on them. Limit their time outside for a while until this blows over. Because you got them little dogs, so they're really close to the ground.
Yeah.
Remember one of the plagues of Egypt, right? Where the firstborn sons were woke up dead, didn't wake up the next morning. That's the type of gas it was. Something similar to that.
It wasn't just the firstborn sons; it was their animals too that died.
Yeah. But the firstborn sons of the Egyptians always slept close to the floor. Everybody slept off the floor. The firstborn son slept on the floor, and that's what this poison does. It stays close to the ground. This mustard gas stuff.
Isn't that what Hussein used, was mustard gas?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep. Yeah. Yep.
That's what he would use on his people to keep them under control.
The Kurds. He would use it up in the Kurds. Up in the northern section of Iraq. Yep.
Because that's the way I understood he used it in.
Yeah.
But that's
I
like,
remember that. Go ahead, Larry.
But that's like, they got all this metal from these trains, that they're trying to burn, what are they going to do with all that? They're going to have to take and dig all that ground up from that train. They're going to have to put them suits on probably to dig it.
And then where are they going to take where are they going to take the dirt to?
I have no clue. I don't know where they take that stuff to.
Usually they take it out west in a very unpopulated area and bury it out there.
I figured they'd take it to Arizona. Desert.
That'll still leach into the groundwater, though.
Yeah. Well, they could, unless they got a place like they do the landfills now. They'll put in a big rubber thing, and then they it's like a big swimming pool liner. It's really thick, and they put it in there and then cover it.
Well, that could be. That's what
Yeah,
they do.
but still yet that liner is going to break down at some point.
My brother-in-law, he does that gas for the landfills, and he puts that liner in, and they fill that up, and they take all that gas to the power plants here, and they power all them plants with garbage. Any kind of waste. Go ahead.
Movement says that G agencies told the residents of Palestine it was safe in 2 days to go home and their water was safe. Yeah, right.
The EPA said too. Bull crap.
They're saying EPA's telling them it's safe now.
So they can be back in their homes by Wednesday?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
Well, I thought it was like, okay, this happened 10 days ago.
Yeah.
Or thereabouts. So I'm thinking that the G agencies told the residents of Palestine it was safe to go home after 2 days. So that was back then. That's not now.
Well, I know that they've been complaining for over a week that they want it back in their homes. That's why I was saying, is it? Because they haven't let them back. Yeah.
But the news agencies that was trying to report on this, they put them in jail.
Well, they put that one reporter in jail because he wasn't. Go ahead.
He wasn't what? I heard they put more than one in jail. But that's what I heard. But go ahead and say what you got to say, Irvin.
I watched numerous videos on this. It was when the governor went to speak about this at the site. He was in a gymnasium type place. He was 2 hours late. It was a national news organization. I forget the name of it. News National, I think is the name of the organization. They had a live planned at quarter after whatever time it was, but it was a quarter after. They had to do their live. So he went on and went live and was talking about it. The governor happened to come out at the exact same time. And they went over to tell him to shut his live down. Well, you got 20 seconds to be able to shut your live down. And he didn't just step off and go away. And the National Guard guy, which I think was a colonel or general or something, went over and got smart with him. And the state police lady stepped behind the camera and gave him the cut mark across the neck. And he was on his way of shutting it down. Well, they didn't give him time enough. And this National Guard guy went over and got smart with him, pushed him. And then the other agencies that were there jumped in and told him he had to leave. He was getting trespassed because he wasn't doing what they were saying, you know, and he was allowed to be there. You can't just trespass somebody. They have to do something illegal to be trespassed from a public place like that. He was invited there by the governor. Well, what happened was when this guard guy pushed him and started to go after him again, a state trooper stepped in and got him out of the way. And these other, I don't know if they were state troopers or what, but other police jumped in and pushed him outside in the hallway. And he wasn't doing what they wanted him to do because there was unlawful orders. And they threw him down and handcuffed him and took him out of there and arrested him. The state police that were there in uniform, state police uniforms, stood back and left it go. They didn't do nothing because they knew that there's going to be a big deal about this. There's going to be a big lawsuit over this. And then they interviewed the governor after he was done, and the governor said they had no right to do that. He didn't care if they were in there doing lives, whatever. It's freedom of the press. So, and the governor actually supposedly helped get him out of jail early because they said he was going to be in jail for 24 hours and he was only in jail for a couple hours. But to do that to a member of the press who was invited there by the governor is crazy.
Honey, everything is crazy right now.
And this wasn't like one of them. This wasn't one of them First Amendment auditors. I follow a couple of them. I see what happens to them all the time. They're still considered press, and they get harassed and stuff thrown at them and hit, and cops, you know, manhandling them and everything. It's sad. It's sad that the press is being harassed nowadays.
Yeah, it is sad. I mean, have they let anybody out from January 6th yet?
I thought there was one, the one that had cancer. I thought they let him out.
I thought he died.
Oh, I don't know. I was watching it pretty heavy, and then there was like one or two I thought got out.
Arizona Ranch charged with murder after shooting migraine on his property.
Oh, what was that?
That Edna was talking about this farmer that shot a, what was it? Arizona rancher shot a migrant.
Now he's charged with murder.
An illegal.
Oh, yeah, on his
yeah.
property, and now he's charged with murder
In Arizona.
Yeah.
in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard about that. I thought that was in Texas, but it could have been in Arizona.
He jumped into
Yeah, I seen that last week too, or a few days ago. And maybe yesterday or Friday or something like that.
And I've also watched. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead this time.
I've often watched these First Amendment auditors at the checkpoints along the border. You know, right up from the border, the major highways have checkpoints that you have to stop at, and they're asking you questions. Are you a citizen? Blah 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 blah. They want to see your ID and stuff. And these guys tell them, no, you have no right to stop me. You're impeding my travel. I haven't committed no crime. You don't have to get. And they'll pull them off to the side and pull them out of their cars and make them sit. until they show their ID, but they're letting thousands of people cross that border. And they act like thugs at these checkpoints. It's amazing.
I seen some of these guys go down there to do the border, and they went on the Mexican side, and they were citizens, and they had a heck of a time getting back in. They had to sneak back in.
I believe that. Whenever we were, this was back in early 90s. I was on the truck with Tony, and we went down. It was really close to the border, and I'm not sure if it was New Mexico, Arizona, or Texas. But they had an area where trucks had to go in. You had to stop. And if you had a box trailer or a van trailer, whatever you want to call it, you had to open it up. And if you didn't open it up and you had a lock on it, they still made you open it up, even though legally they couldn't do that, but they did anyway. But there again, I mean, they saved some lives doing that. And this is back, like I said, in the 90s. I don't know how people are being left in a van or a box trailer in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the summer, with all the patrols going on down there. I don't know how that happens, but it's still happening.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. How they get in there, and they know they're back there, and they'll park up for days out there in the sun. It's like, why in the world would you even get in there?
Because they're promised to be taken to somewhere in the United States.
Yeah, but they never get left out of that box.
Yeah, but once they get in, they're in.
Yeah, they may be dead in, but they're in. I mean, I don't know. I don't know which one's safer, doing it that way or going across that river, the Rio Grande. How many babies have we heard about being killed because, the parents lost control and lost the baby, or some man just threw this kid over the wall, and I don't understand how parents can do that to their children. I know this country is better than Brazil right now. I know that, and I know this country is still better than a lot of countries out there. And I know people want freedom. But right now, we don't even have the freedom we used to have.
Well, look up in New York, T. Lee. They're up in a $350 a day hotels and stuff, getting free food, and they're throwing thousands and thousands of dollars of food away because it's not the food they want. They're drinking, they're smoking cigarettes, they have all this. If you don't like it, stick your thumb out and head back south. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of everything that's going on.
All that food that got thrown away, there's so many people out on the street, they could have went and handed it out to them.
Exactly. That jerks my chain. I mean, here illegal people are coming into the United States. We have homeless out the wazoo. And they don't get a bed, but illegals do. I'm sorry, I don't see how that's right. I don't see how that can be even thought of as godly,
Well, I can speak I can speak about some of the homeless out here in Washington State. They've gave them motel rooms, put them up in motel rooms, gave them food, and they actually destroyed the motel rooms.
Well, from what I understand, when COVID was going around really hot and heavy, they did that in New York City, and they destroyed the hotels there too.
Yeah. Yep. And let me just, well, I won't say nothing on the show because I don't want to get Larry striked, but just all I will say this. Go back and look at the Spanish flu in the right after World War II and compare the two.
Oh, I have. I've seen pictures.
I've watched that.
Yeah. Yep. And that'll let you know what really happened. So that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to get Larry striked.
So what's it look like? We gotta keep watching, see where any new news comes about this train.
Yes, Larry, you better keep you and your people around your area better be keeping close eye on things.
As close an eye as you can.
Right. If you start seeing something happening to the birds, be very concerned because that's why they use canaries in the mines because they're very sensitive to stuff. So if you start to see birds falling down, dropping and stuff, you better start being very concerned, my friend. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm with you, Ms. Blue Moon.
Yes, Ms. I agree there too.
So have you guys seen anything else going on inside this train? I seen they was talking about I think they shot something else down.
Well, the last I heard, after the balloon that went across America, they shot 3 others down, one in Alaska, one in Montana, and one in Canada. No, I take that back. One in Canada, one in Alaska, and one over Lake Huron. There we go. That's what I heard. Now,
Yeah, I thought there was 5 of them.
well, Larry, I don't get to watch a whole lot of news, so baby.
I thought the other one they said it was an alien ship or something.
There was a blip on their screen in Montana for a couple minutes, and they don't know what it was.
Maybe that's what I heard about Montana.
Yeah.
Anyway, 4th of July is coming, guys, and it's supposed to be fireworks.
I think we got a little bit for 4th of July. I don't think we're going to see any fireworks.
Larry?
What?
We're seeing fireworks.
I don't know where you're seeing fireworks. I sure don't see any.
Not right now, you may not, but there will be. You just be good. And I might let Edna take you out to see some.
Oh, I hope so. Because I sure don't see no fireworks yet. I was hoping to see some fireworks during the Super Bowl. I thought that was a joke. I didn't
watch
even
the Super Bowl.
Well, I watched it. I watched it because they had a little bit of that church stuff there at the beginning and singing the anthem and stuff like that. But halftime, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was them people going across there. I thought they looked like the Ghostbuster guy, a big old ghost, that white militia or the tire guy freaking going across there. It looked like a bunch of marshmallows.
The Michelin Man?
Yeah, that's what they look like. Yeah, I didn't think it was very good.
Well, I used to watch the Super Bowl a long time ago. Not because I liked football, because actually football bores me to tears. But I liked the halftime shows, you know? And then, I don't know when it was. It got to the point where it just got stupid.
I think they should have
And
had Kid Rock. I think they should have had Kid Rock there, Born Free, singing it. But they probably couldn't.
they should have had Dolly Parton on there.
Well,
Don't
they
make me
can't
come
have
down there.
they can't have Dolly Parton there anymore because she's with Miley Cyrus right now doing concerts.
Yeah, but still, yet she has that new song out called "Don't Make Me
Well,
Come Down There."
oh,
That
I
is a
figured.
good song.
I thought maybe you wanted to hear her swinging on the ball of Miley Cyrus.
Good gravy, no.
Oh,
I used to
good.
like Miley Cyrus, but anyway.
Teely, I have a question for you about Dolly Parton.
Okay.
Do you know why she wears long sleeves?
She don't always wear long sleeves, but no, I don't.
She covers up. That's to cover up her tattoo she has on her arms.
So?
Well,
she used
that's
to be
what.
real wild.
Yes, no, that's what she said in an interview. Somebody asked her why she always wears long sleeves. She said she covers up her tattoos, and she don't believe they should be out in the open like that. She didn't say
You
what
know,
kind of tattoo she had, but
Well,
that's why she wears them.
the thing is with tattoos, everybody, a lot of people don't like tattoos, and then, you know, they are always like, well, God don't want people to have tattoos. If He wanted you to have that ink on your skin, He would have gave it to you.
Hmm?
well, I'm sorry, but I don't. God gives us free reign to do what we want. And as long as you're not putting Satan on your chest, I don't think God really cares what you do. What if you pierce your ears or pierce your nose or your eyebrows or your lips or whatever? I don't think God really cares. I don't think He cares what you look like here on earth, because you ain't gonna look like that in heaven.
No,
Mhm.
but in the olden days, that's what they would say. God didn't want you to put tattoos all over your body.
Well, there is a passage in the Bible stating about not putting ink on yourself or something like that.
Yeah.
But the way I read it, it's like if you put a cross on your heart, that's one thing. But if you put Satan on your heart, that's something different. You know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe I
So
can talk. Maybe I can talk to Edna about getting some tattoos on my neck and on my face.
I'll tattoo it for you there, Larry.
Oh.
It's going to have log cabin on inside of it.
Oh.
It may read backwards, but it'll have log cabin on it.
Oh.
You know what that means, right?
No.
Skillet. Cast iron skillet's got log cabin on the bottom of their skillet.
You better
Don't
watch
like
it,
that
Larry.
idea, Larry?
I gotta go in to tell you, Urban, when I talk to you on here later. I can't say it on here. I'd get in trouble.
Okay.
You're gonna get in trouble, all right.
Nah, I was watching a video and some woman was talking. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'll tell her. But I laughed about it.
Keep it clean, Larry. Keep it clean.
I am. Are you guys ready to get out of here?
Well, I haven't seen Last Call yet.
Yeah.
I don't either. But Miss Blue Moon is agreeing with me, so you're in trouble, Larry.
Oh, I'm always in trouble by either her, or Irvin, or Edna.
Not me. No, don't put me in with that crowd.
Hey, I gotta put you in there.
I'll probably hear about that later, but
Chicken.
that's right. Those two women are vicious. Lovely vicious, but they're vicious.
Miss Blue Moon says guy talk.
Oh, there's Last Call, Larry.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming, guys. Yes, try to keep an eye on that chemical spill.
Not just that one, but the other train wrecks too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
we don't know. They're trying to hide this one that's big in Ohio. Could they not be trying to hide the other two or three?
Yes.
They might be. That's why they're doing the distraction with the balloons.
Yeah, keep your eyes on the balloons. That way your eyes aren't on the ground watching what the trains are doing.
Exactly.
That's probably what they're doing.
Well, T. Lee, I hope you feel better. Prayers go out to you.
Oh, thank you. I need them bad because, baby, I'm hurting.
Yeah. Thank you for coming up tonight. We appreciate it.
Oh, well, I wasn't sleeping, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we'll try to get you for Friday and Saturday since you said that would work better for you.
Fridays and Saturdays do work better for me. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Irvin did tell us he talked to you.
Yes, we had a good talk.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
We talked about how bad Larry was.
Yeah,
oh, that's okay.
Oh, Larry, I'm kidding.
Oh, I don't care.
I love you, buddy.
Okay.
I love you.
I'll talk to you guys sometime.
Okay, love y'all. Bye.
All right,
Taylor,
love you. Goodbye.
If you want to hear the joke that I'm going to tell Irvin, he can tell you.
Oh, I'm not telling her. You can tell her.
Chicken, Larry, chicken.
Yeah.
Good night, baby. Talk to y'all later.
Good night. Yeah.